Welcome to PENSARE Basketball. The Toronto Raptors absolutely decimated the Brooklyn Nets. If you don't believe me, take a look at the screen. I promise you it's true. They absolutely dominated this team. And there was a late game hiccup. I will not deny that. The Toronto Raptors absolutely need to learn how to close games. But for a team that showcased their starters last game and looked abysmal, this was a good step in the right direction. The Toronto Raptors shoot 36% from three. There's a lot to clean up defensively. They once again win the turnover margin. Scottie Barnes, who it feels a little bit weird to be victory lapping over anything in preseason, but scoring 31 points on 15 attempts, I think the haters are going to be crying into their Hello Kitty pillows tonight. And I got to say, I'm for it. There was a lot to take away from this game overall. I think one of the disappointing parts of this game, obviously, shout outs to Toronto Raptor fans. This is not a nice night for us. Obviously, if you're a fan of this community, if you're a fan of the Toronto Blue Jays, the Toronto Blue Jays did lose tonight, so that sucks. They were up, I believe, one zip, one zip, two zip. I wasn't watching, to be honest. I'm not a baseball fan, but I do emphasize that Toronto sports is all the rage right now, and the Toronto Raptors are certainly something exciting. This was Sparkling saying Blue Jays choked in the eighth. It was 2-1, and then it was 6-2. Bases loaded, I guess. And that sucks. And if you were one of those people who was trying to switch between these two games, you saw the Toronto Raptors were up 18 again in preseason against the Brooklyn Nets. And you're like, they got this, they got this, they got this. And the next thing you know, the Raptors are trailing. And you're like, what is happening with Toronto sports? Whew. Well, there's a lot to take away from this game. First of all, I think this was the first really positive game from Emmanuel Quickly. And it's good to see. It's not that the shooting was all that great, but 10 assists was nice to see. Yes, he was still making mistakes, but there were some beautiful passes, some really good passes, and he hit 5 threes. That's what you want. He took 9 threes, he hit 5 of them. That's what I want. I don't care that he took 16 shots. Barrett took 17 shots. Barrett and Quickly leading your offense in shot attempts while Brandon Ingram just takes 9 shots and Scottie Barnes takes 15 shots. Probably not a recipe for success. Also, your super efficient paint big left this game with a back injury, which is probably concerning, if we're being honest. I mean, if we're being completely honest, Jakob Poeltl has not been healthy, and the Toronto Raptors don't exactly have a ton of size behind him. As good as I feel about Sandro Mamukelashvili, I think the season will go south very quickly if you do not have Jakob Poeltl. You absolutely need him. You don't have a lot of rim protection other than him, and Colin Murray-Boyles misses what I think was his third straight game. Let's take a look at the box score here, and we will get into the film session at some point. And it's going to be a beautiful one. It's going to be a lot of beautiful defense by Brandon Ingram. It's going to be some quick flashes to the rim by RJ Barrett. There's going to be some very good plays by Scottie Barnes, who looked absolutely explosive tonight. Overall, the Toronto Raptors get a very balanced effort. Every single starter ends up in double digits, which is good. Egalitarian basketball against a terrible Brooklyn Nets team. And every single starter finishes in the plus. I believe the starters finished in their lineup together with a plus 10 or plus 12 tonight, which was decent. And overall, there was a lot of sharing of the basketball going along with 10 assists by Quickly, 6 assists by Brandon Ingram, and 4 assists apiece by Scottie Barnes and RJ Barrett. Barnes finished more as a play finisher tonight, a little bit of a play initiator as well, explosive, running in transition, cutting as the roll man. He did a lot of stuff that the Toronto media swears he can't do, finishing through traffic, finishing through contact, all that stuff. But I think a lot of this just comes down to the process of Scottie Barnes, right? And he has not looked explosive or right at all during preseason. And I think he looked a lot better today. Didn't get a lot of bench minutes. Certainly did not get a lot of those, garbage time minutes for Elijah Martin, Chucky Hepburn, etc. The Toronto Raptors did sign Julian Reese. We can talk about that a little bit if a caller wants to call in. This is a call-in show. If you want to call in and talk about it, we can talk about Julian Reese. I did watch a lot of Julian Reese at Maryland last year. I certainly have some thoughts. He is signed to an Exhibit 0 deal, which means he will likely be waived at some point and signed with the Raptors 905. But overall, cool signing. We can definitely talk about it later. Grady Dick, tough showing, 7 points, a lot of defensive issues, but overall, whatever. I don't have a lot to say about Grady Dick. I don't have a lot to say about the bench in general, other than the fact that, for the most part, the Raptors look better when their starters were on the court. And Sandro Mamukelashvili, I think he was great. I think he was really great. And there was a sequence where Mamu had a block, then a dunk, then an offensive rebound, and another dunk. And it's just like, you know what? To the fans who came out tonight to watch the Toronto Raptors, while the Toronto Blue Jays were granted playing a much more important game, shout outs to the people. You got a game. First, you got to watch the Toronto Raptors dominate the shit out of the Brooklyn Nets, who, for all intents and purposes, look awful at times, but have some scoring talent and some offensive rebounding talent and some real NBA players. Okay, there are some real NBA players. Terrence Mann, Cam Thomas, Nick Claxton, Michael Porter Jr. I would argue Daron Sharp. All of these guys would get actual rotation minutes on the Toronto Raptors. I think Yegor Diemen would get rotation minutes on the Toronto Raptors. This is not as bad a team as you think they are. And again, Jordi Fernandez is a really good coach. Obviously, Cam Thomas struggles tonight, 1 for 10. A lot of this was not the Raptors defense, more so the Nets offense and the Nets process. But Michael Porter Jr. had himself a game, hitting 6 3-pointers, grabbing 10 rebounds, and leading all scorers with 34 points. And overall, as I mentioned earlier, the win probability is not lying to you, right? The Raptors were about 90%, close to 90% favored to win this game for the vast majority of the game and the vast majority of the important parts of the game. And then suddenly in the fourth quarter, Scottie Barnes misses, a 7-foot shot. And maybe it's a little bit depressing that Scottie was on the court for that initial turnaround. And then Toronto goes to a lineup which includes Ingram, and they play their starters right down the wire. And the Nets just keep building on that comeback, and Toronto just cannot stop the bleeding. And I think this points to a larger issue in the Toronto's lack of continuity from last year, implementing Ingram, but also their defense. Their defense should be able to lock the shit out of the Nets, and they were not able to. The Nets got open look after open look, and it wasn't that hard. And so, you end up with 102-100 for the Nets with 6:50 to go in the fourth quarter. And then we get Scottie Barnes coming back into the game around the 5-minute mark. And then Barnes had a pair of, and ones. Ingram had a 3. And then there was this beautiful sequence to end the game, which pretty much iced the game, which was Ingram getting double teamed above the break, passing to Scottie Barnes. So making the right pass, and then Scottie making the pass to RJ, slipping behind. RJ was a very opportunistic scorer tonight, getting out in transition, cutting to the basket. So not a lot of forced drives, but there were a couple of really ugly ones, and we'll take a look at those too. This is going to be a very balanced post-game live. But overall, let's take a look quickly at the team stats, and then we will get to the film breakdown. The film breakdown is going to be pretty detailed and very, very thorough because there's a lot of plays to break down and a lot of victory lapping on Scottie Barnes. Again, as I said, it feels weird to victory lap on 31 points from Scottie Barnes, especially because he was averaging 22 points around Christmas break last year. He was averaging around 22, 23 points around Christmas break the year before. It feels weird, but given the preseason that we've had and the number of people who've been able to get away with talking so much crap about Scottie over the last couple of weeks, it feels nice to have one game where those people are going to shut the fuck up. Okay. And by the way, I just want to let y'all know we lost 55 subscribers, 55 subscribers over the last 4 days. So all of this, go fuck yourself, you Scottie hater stuff is probably not helping this channel. But honestly, I'm going to say it again. Fuck y'all Scottie haters. Lose another 50 subscribers. There you go. Okay. So overall in the team stats, the Raptors lead in assists, lead in steals, lead in blocks, win the turnover margin. Winning by 5 is a depressing outcome overall. It shows weirdness, right? Overall. And I think a lot of this has to do with the fact that you give up 14 offensive rebounds. Got to clean that up. Cannot be giving up 14 offensive rebounds. You give up nearly 38% from 3, which is above league average 3-point efficiency, which is not good. And there's no way, if you actually hope to hang your hat on defense, that the Nets of all teams should be able to get 46% field goal percentage on you and 40 points in the paint. The Raptors win the points in the paint margin. They had a lot of stupid fouls, I would say, like a lot of really dumb fouls in the beginning of that fourth quarter, which put the Nets into the bonus very early in that quarter. I've been saying unapologetic. Dude, y'all have no idea. Y'all have no idea, man. Fuck y'all Scottie haters. Yo, talk your shit, bro. Talk your shit. And I will concede to the other side, by the way, because it is easier to be gracious in victory than it is to be gracious in defeat. So let me pull this off for a second. Let's get to this film session, man. But before we get to the film session, we need to address another podcast. Now, I don't shy away from, I don't duck the smoke. Okay. And every single time in Toronto Raptors history, when there has been a media member who has gone out of pocket, maybe trying to fool the masses, I will be very quick to point it out. I tried to say that I did say earlier in the season that I want to get away from this. It's not very professional, but I do have to address this. Okay. So I want to take a listen to this little clip here. We will get to the film session momentarily, but I need to address this while I have your attention. I need to address this because this shit is gonna be the subject of a video if it continues. If this narrative continues, I promise you, I'm gonna release a video that is going to make you cry. So let's go.
I definitely see that people are crashing out about Scottie. We can't do this every game, man. We're gonna ruin, honestly, a lot of the fun of the season if every game we're just yelling about whether Scottie's injured or not, or whatever. Like, it's just, man. Like, I'm telling you, I promise you, this is the least fun part of Raptors fandom, is just screaming back and forth about Scottie Barnes. It's not particularly great to see this every single game. Obviously, we're going to talk about him. He's the most important player on the team. He's the most paid player on the team. He's the longest tenure player on the team. He's the best player on the team. But damn, like, it's just like, yeah, I don't know. Are we going to fight about him every single year? I mean,
good stuff, man. So I love this message by William Loop. So shout outs to William Loop. But I want to read out my response. And I think everyone in this community understands. If you followed us for the last 5 years, I don't even need to release the receipts. You already know. You already know what I'm about to say. Quote, whether he's injured or not. Most of us accepted his hand diagnosis last season, but there was one podcast saying Darko was making excuses, that it was hard to get the truth out of Darko, that Darko will always protect Scottie. Most of us can see over the last few games that he's been ailing from tendinitis, but there's one podcast that's routinely saying maybe he's injured, maybe he's not. I'm all for eliminating negativity around this subject, but maybe we need to be honest about where all the, quote, work ethic issues, quote, takes too many threes, quote, get in the post, quote, he's a center, quote, attitude issues, quote, faking injuries, quote, Darko is lying for Scottie, accusations come from. Let me give you a hint. Now, if you're smart, you can figure it out. Okay? You can figure it out. If you watch this podcast, let me know. Let me know. Okay? Send me an email. Let me know if you got receipts, because I got a fucking folder full of them. So keep this shit up. Keep pretending like you're not the one creating the mess. This is like textbook gaslighting, though. This is textbook gaslighting. You are the one coming out and saying, well, Scottie's chasing 65 games, and then turning the fan base on this guy. You're the one who's interviewing a guy who's never met the guy, who's saying he has work ethic issues. You're the one who's giving an entire platform for all this toxic Scottie stuff, and then you're complaining about it, saying this is the least fun part of fandom. How about this? If it's so not fun, stop doing it. Stop participating in it. Stop giving a megaphone to it. You are literally one of the most watched podcasts in basketball. You are one of the most watched post-game shows in Toronto Raptors, like, period. I'm guaranteeing you right now, we got 300 people in here. I'll guarantee you they got more people in there right now. So the truth is the truth. You can't duck what you've said. You can't duck the hosts, the people that you've brought in. And this is the truth. The truth is you have mentioned many times, implied, now I'm not calling Darko a liar. Dude, I've studied enough to know what that means. Like, you're not fooling me. This is called plausible deniability. So you can go back and be like, well, I didn't call him a liar. Now, I'm not calling you a liar, but come on now. Okay, let's get to the plays. Give this video a like for that little cook session there. Okay, to be honest, you knew right away from the second. I want to tell you from the opening tip, I could tell this was going to be a good Scottie game. He looked spry. He looked active. He looked engaged. And you're like, oh, I guess Scottie Barnes is really, really going to show up for the final preseason game and just give Raptor fans a reason to stop panicking. And here you have this play, good pass by RJ Barrett, and wonderful little breakaway dunk for Scottie Barnes. 2 points on the board. Now, tough shot from Brandon Ingram. I will say this. Tough shot for Brandon Ingram. Forcing this shot, with 11 seconds on the clock to force this shot, that's tough. Right? But not a lot of great options. And frankly, he's made a career making this shot. But here, Jakob Poeltl battling down low with Mr. Claxton here. And Nick Claxton, gives up a lot of pounds to Jakob Poeltl. And he tips it out. So the ball ends up back in Ingram's hands. And here is Michael Porter Jr. And the Nets defense is already in transition. So RJ Barrett's wide open. Ingram is a good passer, a very unselfish player. And he finds RJ for the wide open three. Okay. And the Nets are going to live with that all night. And RJ has to make them pay. I say this is bad. Okay. This is bad. This is bad defense. Okay. This is 100% bad defense. What is RJ doing right now? You're not in gap. You're not covering your man. Terrence Mann is a decent shooter. I'm not saying he's a lights out shooter. He's not Steph Curry, but he is not someone that you can leave wide open. And here, you're not even closing out to him. What are you doing? He's clearly motioning for the shot. You have to react to this by actually closing space. You have to run him off the line, and there's 12 seconds on the clock, so this is not some sort of late clock situation. You do have options here, and he's going up for his shot, and you're not even contesting. And cheat sheet, he's going to make this shot. Like, this is 3 points you did not need to give up. Sorry, this play continues. So now we go the other way, and here, Scottie Barnes running down the court, and he is going to make a nice pass to Jakob Poeltl. Is it a little bit off target? I would say it's a little bit off target, but man, this is a smoked finish. Jakob Poeltl has cost Scottie Barnes at least 4 assists already in preseason on wide open layups. That is considered a wide open layup. Everything in offense is designed. And if you're wondering where the Raptors transition efficiency issues come from, that's at least part of it. Now here, beautiful. This is how the Raptors want to play. They want to run off their defense. And here Scottie is going to play defense, and Jakob Poeltl is going to get the sort of weak side block there as the help defender. Scottie, 0 seconds taken to process the court. 0. Passes it up to Quickly. Quickly passes right over Pensare, and RJ Barrett is getting right to the rim for an and-one finish. I told you, RJ Barrett was a total scavenger tonight, and this is awesome. Okay, to the people in the back row, to you people in the freaking short bus who think Scottie Barnes cannot generate his own offense, let me borrow, some terms from Zazu here. Okay, hold on. Let me make myself a little bit smaller so I can make the screen a little bit bigger. Hold up. Here we go. Okay, to the people. Can't create his own shot, huh? Now, I'm not saying this is great defense. That's Michael Porter Jr. I know he has no chance of guarding Scottie Barnes. Okay, but I've seen him do this to Alex Caruso. I've seen him do this to Giannis Antetokounmpo. Really ain't no one stopping this guy when he puts his mind to putting the ball on the floor and getting downhill. Maybe that's why some people are so frustrated, because he can literally do this anytime he wants. Now, here's Terrence Mann. He is actually a pretty good defender. Okay. And Scottie's played a lot against Terrence Mann, by the way, just to let y'all know that. They play a lot at FSU pickups in the summer and stuff. So he's very familiar with his game. And here, Terrence Mann is going to reach, and Scottie's like, I got it. And here, he is going to go right through the shot blocking Nick Claxton, who, by the way, if he was on the Toronto Raptors, you'd be calling him the best shot blocker in Raptors history. Just so we are clear about that. Okay. So that's not an easy pair to score on. Whatever you want to say about the Nets' overall talent, overall defense, taking Terrence Mann, a really decent point of attack defender, off the bounce, and then finishing over Nick Claxton. If you can do that to those two, you can do that to just about everyone in the league. Here comes the defense. Now, Sandro Mamukelashvili contests Michael Porter Jr. at the basket, forces a miss, and here, Grady Dick has to box out his man. This is ridiculous defense by Grady Dick. A defensive possession is not over until you close the defensive possession. This is a ridiculous thing. And there's no reason that Nolan Traore, a rookie, should be able to get this. That's ridiculous. An absolute, annoying defensive possession. Did not like it at all. Okay. Scottie haters, welcome to part 2 of your freaking nightmare. Okay. This is great defense by Scottie Barnes. It's going to turn into a very awesome offense. Watch this. Now, this is a good pass. I just want to be clear about that. There are maybe 17 to 18 defenders in the entire NBA that could have tipped this pass, and he's one of them. It takes hand-eye coordination, insane length, and size to do what Scottie just does here. And look at how high up this pass is, and the fact that he is able to A, tip it, B, tip it again, C, catch it, and B, put it into motion. Watch that play when you tell me that this dude is not freaking awesome. Watch that play again, okay? And watch the clock. I'm very, very happy I left the clock on this. I want to tell you that this entire play happens, okay, we're at 2:30 right now, okay? To time this out, between the pass, the tip, so the tip, the second tip, the gather, and the pass, that's less than 2.5 seconds. Think about what I'm saying. Count out 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, that's how long it took him to do that. That's ridiculous. And here, RJ Barrett, once again, scavenger buckets, as I say, but this time he's going to miss at the rim. And I believe he went to the line for 2 there. Okay. Watch this. Now, this is a very, very simple play that Scottie and Jamal Shead could literally run against every single second unit. Simple. Slip and finish. Finish around. What a little bit of rest does for those aching knees. And then finally, here comes the third play. Very simple basketball, right? RJ Barrett passes over to Jamal Shead. This time, we're going to post up. Scottie Barnes gets a post up. This was awesome. Immediate post up and turn. Right away, go fast. I hated watching Pascal Siakam, Chris Bosh, guys like this sort of survey. No, man, go. You're never going to be more open on this drive than when you go right away. And right here, there's so many options. Look at how many defenders, Nets defenders, he attracts to himself. He's got 3 defenders on him, including, by the way, his high school teammate, Day'Ron Sharpe, who is an awesome shot blocker, by the way. You got a lot of length on you. You got wide open Grady Dick in the corner. And because Noah Clowney turns his back to become the 4th defender on Scottie Barnes, you've also got a wide open streaking RJ Barrett. With 4 defenders to their back turned to him, RJ Barrett is going to get what I call another scavenger bucket. And once again, this is the best of RJ Barrett. If RJ Barrett can just do this, he is going to be very successful with this team. Okay? Now, talk about scavenger buckets. Here, Jamal Shead, Afro out, is going to beat his man, Nolan Traore, meet the help defender at the rim, and do something that certain Raptor point guards in the past have not been willing to do. Make the easy pass to the cutter from the left baseline. And boom, Scottie Barnes is going to finish explosively at the rim. He really enjoyed dunking the basketball tonight, almost like he was trying to tell the media, y'all really think I can't dunk? Jeez. Okay. We call this back-to-back plays of Mamu Mania. I'm not coining this phrase. They said it on the broadcast, so I can't take credit for it. But man, the first time when I heard Mamu Mania on the broadcast, my only thought was, I can't believe I didn't think of this first. This is ridiculous. Here comes Sandro Mamukelashvili. Notice I'm saying it correctly. Mamus Kelishvili. Can someone who knows Matt Devlin please hit him up? I'm actually going to hit him up myself and just tell him to stop saying Mamus Kelishvili. It's really starting to get it's starting to grind my gears a little bit. I want to tell you the Hugo Fernandez stuff instead of Hugo Gonzalez, Hugo Fernandez last game, maybe actually mute my phone, but actually mute my television. But I'm at a point right now where I want to mute games every time Mamu scores because I can't listen to people's names being butchered like this because I've had my own last name butchered a lot in my life. This is the thing about having European last names, man. Sometimes people butcher your last names. Mamu Kelishvili, but we call it Mamu Mania here. So Mamu Mania scores in transition. And here we go. I love Sandro a lot. I don't know if you can tell from the everything about my reaction from when he was signed. I just think this guy is such an underrated basketball player. Here, look at RJ. Perfect. Love it. Defense. Great. And this time, I would prefer that RJ pass. I understand that he thinks he can take Pensare at the rim, but the number of times that RJ smoked wide open or open-ish layups tonight is really concerning. If you're going long-term with this guy as a slasher on this team, any good NBA wing, this is an automatic 2 points. Giannis, you don't have to be Giannis, Jalen Williams, LeBron James to finish this. Josh Minot, Derek White, Jaylen Brown. You don't even have to be those level of guys. You could literally be like Dariq Whitehead. I expect Dariq Whitehead to finish this 95% of the time. But with RJ Barrett, nothing is certain at the rim. And I don't know what the fuck is wrong with this guy's finishes, but he's just not a good finisher at the rim. But here, no problem. His high school teammate from Revered, Sandro Mamukelashvili, finishes. You know what's interesting? Scottie actually faced both of them in high school. That's funny. Okay. Now, close your ears if you're an RJ Barrett fan, super fan, because this is going to be rough. This is some bad RJ Barrett. There's a lot of really good RJ Barrett, right? So there's a lot of good RJ Barrett. A lot of good. Opportunistic scoring, running in transition, being high on his pickup point, rebounding the basketball, running in transition, finishing in transition, attacking the basket strong, making good reads. There's a lot of good RJ Barrett. Here's the bad of RJ Barrett, okay? Okay. A little bit of an awkward pass. A little bit of length at the rim. This is a rookie, okay? There's no way that Yegor Diemen, I'm not sure, it should be able to stop RJ Barrett from scoring here. So much so that he hits under the... I want you to be honest with yourself. If you're a Scottie hater, if Scottie Barnes did this, you would make memes out of it. And that's all I want to say. If Scottie Barnes did this, I would never hear the end of it. You'd literally make a GIF out of this and fucking show me every single day for the rest of my life. Okay? Here, RJ Barrett makes a three. This is the good of RJ Barrett. His catch and shoot shooting has been very good, and I'm very, very happy that he's been doing that. He also airballed a free throw, which I'm not going to break down because why would I do that? But also this, okay? Like, you're too close to make this pass. You know this. You know this. You've played with this guy before. You played with him in high school. You played basketball before. I just don't understand, like, why on earth this is anything. Like, I don't understand how you can make this pass in the NBA. Like, you see the situation. I want to make this really large for y'all. You see this situation. His hands are not up. Maybe you want to blame Sandro Mamukelashvili. You say, hey, Sandro, have your hand up. But why would he have his hand up? He's clearly going to the basket. The right play is to attack. But then the problem is maybe Mamu is so certain that RJ is going to attack that he's not looking for the pass. But honestly, if he had attacked on that, I'm not comfortable he's going to get 2 points. So it's just such a weird situation where he's so good at getting to the rim, but he's so bad when he's getting there to finishing. Like, he's truly one of the worst finishers among guards, starting guards, wings in the NBA. And it's bad. Like, it's bad. I don't know if it's training, technique, like I've certainly never heard the Toronto Raptors media say maybe he needs a new trainer, but maybe he does. He actually trains with a really good guy, but like, man, it's tough. It's tough. Okay. Here we go. Great pass, Jakob Poeltl. And also, awesome pass, Immanuel Quickley. Love the two-man game between these two. But what the fuck? This is what feels like the 15th time in very limited minutes, by the way, that Jakob Poeltl just gets stripped or simply cannot see a pass, has stone hands when he catches a pass. Jakob Poeltl has looked really bad. For a guy who just signed an extension, I don't know if the back is bothering him. I want to give him the benefit of the doubt. I don't think I've seen Jakob Poeltl look this bad in a really long time. So I'm saying lose the mask. Darko Rajakovic said he just likes the look of it. Yo, I don't like the look of it. You're dropping every pass. You're missing layups at the rim. You're shooting 5 for 15. What gives, Jakob Poeltl? Like, this is ridiculous. We need you to be like 10 for 15 at the rim. Like, against the Nets, man, like, you need to dominate. And you're playing with BI. Honestly, the player who should benefit the most from playing with BI and Scottie and IQ and RJ should be Jakob Poeltl. He should get open shots everywhere. Like, Immanuel Quickley consistently breaks down the defense. Brandon Ingram consistently draws double teams. Scottie consistently gets paint touches, and he's able to find Yak. If Yak cannot set good screens, which he does, with his eyes closed, he sets great screens. If he cannot set great screens and he cannot finish in the paint, he is useless for this team. Like if he cannot finish and he cannot set a great screen, like his defense is not outweighing his offensive limitations. You might as well go with Mamu Kelishvili. Okay. So here, sets the screen once again, quickly goes early, just never taking the screen. Jakob just wasting his fucking time. And here, I think this is like, might be one of the 3 best passes I've ever seen Emmanuel Quickly show. Like, to give you an idea of the level of manipulation it took to make this pass, just look at where his eyes are. He's faking to the corner on a Scottie Barnes pass. Everyone is convinced that he's throwing to the corner because his head is looking that way. And he actually flicks it over to Jakob Poeltl right in his pocket. And even Jak cannot smoke that. So it was really good. Good to see. I say here, the basketball gods have rewarded RJ Barrett's defense. Look at this tenacious defense by RJ Barrett. Loved to see this. I don't see this very often from him. I really like seeing this from him. Okay, so here, Brandon Ingram just loses it here. And instead of doing the lazy thing, which is just to give up on this play and give up a dunk for Noah Clowney. And look, man, there's a tendency to not hustle when you're up 12, 13 points. But here, RJ Barrett, despite the fact that his team is up 13 points, does awesome stuff. Gets up, meets Clowney at the rim, and forces a miss, which I just loved. And here's the bonus part. He runs hard in transition. Ingram skips it ahead. Perfect, by the way, to Jakob Poeltl. Scottie Barnes kind of holds Diego Diamond out of the way. And boom, RJ Barrett. What'd I say? Scavenger buckets. If you didn't watch this game, you probably thought RJ Barrett was like a superstar tonight. No, he was a perfect role player tonight. He ran hard in transition. He cut back door. He was just opportunistic. He hit his open shots. This is what you need from him. This is 100% what you need from him. Okay? Not forcing, not over dribbling, just really good basketball. Okay? Here, Emmanuel Quickly. Good pass. Scottie Barnes takes Nick Claxton off the dribble. Claxton thinks he's going all the way to the basket for some reason. Barnes just pops for, I think, the only jump shot he hit tonight. Am I mistaken on that? Like, yikes. Okay, I say Emmanuel Quickly has been awesome tonight. There's a lot to clean up for him. I just want to be clear. I mean, I say he's been awesome, but like awesome relative to how he's been. But I really like this play. Here, goes right through transition and finishes through contact at the rim. Again, something that he does not do consistently enough, has not done consistently enough. He has a habit through most of his career to date where he goes right into the floater. He doesn't want to meet contact at the rim, which means his free throw rate sucks. And honestly, you're never going to be more efficient at floaters than you're going to be getting to the rim. And the floater becomes actually a much bigger weapon if you're a threat to go all the way to the basket. Something that fans would probably be wise to note when it comes to Scottie Barnes jump shooting and going to the basket. You can be like William Liu and say, get to the basket, get to the basket, get to the basket. But the truth is, at some point, teams stop playing you for the jump shot. Your getting to the basket is going to be impossible. It's so funny that the people who complain about him being Ben Simmons will ultimately ask him to be Ben Simmons. Like, don't be stupid here. Like, you're around basketball coaches all day, man. Ask some fucking questions. Okay? Let's just be real. So here, Quickly is going to get down on the other end. Smokes the layup here. Cam Thomas, 1 of 10, by the way. Remind you on that one. And here, Grady Dick passes to Emmanuel Quickly. And watch this. I have been so mad at Emmanuel Quickly's passing this entire preseason, by the way. I am a big Emmanuel Quickly fan. Emmanuel Jalen Quickly, Manny Quick. I've been watching this guy for a really long time. Watching him play like ass in this preseason and a lot of last season was really frustrating, largely because he refuses to make the simple pass like this. He over dribbles, overcomplicates, overthinks. Here, he's not thinking. He's playing basketball. And this is a play that I want my starting point guard making 100 out of 100 times. Good cut by Ochai Agbaji, always presenting himself in good opportunities to catch the basketball. Okay, game's in the balance. What the hell? The game is in the balance. And we're going to throw it to Scottie Barnes. Okay? We're teetering here. It's a 1-point game and they're ahead. It's 4 minutes to go. It's fourth quarter time. It's closing time. And here the Nets cannot guard him. 1-on-1 at the basket. Boom. Boom goes the dynamite. He scores. And then the next time down the court, I believe this was the previous time down the court, it was another and one. And this time it starts with Brandon Ingram defense. We'll talk about Brandon Ingram defense at some point in this live because I was very impressed with it tonight. And here, Ingram also makes the right pass, by the way, because he has drawn the attention of 2 defenders, and Barnes is in a position right now to beat Claxton to the spot. And here, gets it too late. What did they teach you? Go through the shot blocker's body. And Barnes does exactly that. He goes through Nick Claxton's body. Perfect. Now, this sucks. Good, bad, good, bad. Welcome to life as a Toronto Raptor fan. Okay? This sucks. I don't like this at all. Rejects the screen. Can't beat his man off the dribble. Rescreen. No connection. Toss to the ankles. Bro, they're up with 2 minutes to go on Brandon Ingram night. We Toronto Raptor fans who are watching our beloved Jays, apparently. I speak for some of you, not myself, obviously. I don't. I mean no offense by this, but I haven't watched a single Jays game all season. So I'm not going to be like, rah, rah, go Jays. I'm a big Jays fan. I'm not a Jays fan. But you have to know the moment, okay? You're at home for your preseason opener. This is a fucking business. You cannot be losing to the fucking Brooklyn Nets. Like, I know this is a preseason game, and I understand that, but being up 18 and the optics of losing to the Brooklyn Nets at home, you will not hear the end of it. And by the way, you don't get to play again until next Wednesday against Atlanta, a game that you are, by the way, favored to lose by 7 points. You're probably not going to make up for this, and you're just hurting yourself. And at this point, I need my point guard to have a little bit of stage presence and a little bit of insight into what basketball IQ is. You make, like right here, let's look at the play. What should Quickly have done? Okay. Apart from not passing the ball to Scottie Barnes' ankles, which would be freaking phenomenal. Number one, you should be able to beat PENSARE off the dribble. You're one of the fastest players in the league. Take him off the dribble. Like, why are we dancing around with the ball 40 feet from the basket? He's pressuring you this high up. You can get past him in a second. What are you doing? And there's no help at the paint. That's Noah fucking Clowney. And there's Brandon Ingram. You beat this dude. It's 2-on-1 to the basket. Quickly has a problem processing the court. He doesn't see what's happening. He doesn't see the other 9 guys. He's just kind of like seeing like one play ahead. This is my problem with Emmanuel Quickly, right? Why are you dancing? Why are you going towards the help defender here? Now you're 2-on-1. So you think that you're freeing Scottie Barnes up here, but you're really not. He doesn't have any better a shot at making this shot, ultimately, even if this pass goes through, than you did. I mean, are you telling me you're afraid of Noah Clowney at the basket? Are you afraid that you can't beat PENSARE off the dribble? Number one, take this screen. Then make the pass. It'll be a lot cleaner. You'll get some separation. Instead, you reject the screen, go around, reject the screen again. You go too early. Scottie Barnes doesn't connect. Probably should have connected on that. And now you don't have enough space to make this pass. And oh, by the way, you make a stupid pass to begin with. There's no reason with a long-ass defender with a 7'4" wingspan like Nick Claxton that you should be making this pass in such a tight window. It's just a bad pass. This is not the pass that good point guards ever fuck up. Like, I want to say like maybe 1 out of every 30 times you make this pass, you fuck this up. Emmanuel Quickly messes this up all the freaking time. And it is annoying as hell. Like this is demoralizing. Like, this could have cost you the game. And I understand, once again, it's preseason. I get that. But at the same time, like, it's still basketball. You're still at home. There's people who paid to come and see you, and you can't lose this game. Like, there needs to be some sort of professional pride here, okay? You're at home against the fucking Nets. You cannot be tossing the ball away like this. Like, it's among all the plays that really just annoyed the living crap out of me, that was among the top 3. It is just bad. So a lot of good and a lot of bad with Emmanuel Quickly tonight. And here comes Brandon Ingram. This is not difficult basketball. When I say Big playmakers are all the rage. Why do teams keep investing in Cade Cunninghams and Cooper Flags, Brandon Ingrams, Scottie Barnes, guys like this at the top of the draft? Why is it that these guys never fall out of the top 10, top 12, top 13 in the draft? It's because they can make plays like this. What does Ingram have right now that Quickly would not have? He has a passing window. Even with two very large defenders on him, it doesn't matter. 7'4" wingspan, 7'3" wingspan with a 6'9", super high shoulders. His head is above a center's head. You can't stop this, and he is a good passer. And immediately, guess what? Pass to the other jumbo playmaker, and this guy can't stop his pass. So it's like you got two jumbo playmakers, both 6'9", both with a 7'4" radius, and they can give a nice opportunistic dunk to RJ Barrett. And RJ Barrett super fans, of course, can come into the comments and be like, look, RJ Barrett had 25 points. He's a superstar. Bro, honestly, keep playing like this. You'll be one of my favorite players in Raptors history. Okay, so that is my very, let's say, annoyed post-game live. Is a like post-game film session, whatever. This has been a very weird last couple of days as a Raptor fan. I'm gonna be honest. This has been weird. It's just been weird. There's really nothing to say about it. Scottie Barnes has had a really, really rough preseason. No denying it. It's been tough. Ulrich Chomsky got waived yesterday, which still is bothering me. He's one of my favorite young players in the NBA. And, you know, I was looking over a post today where I was looking over and it said, you know, the 15 Raptors that I'm looking forward to watching the most this season. He was fifth. He was fifth, and now he's not on the team. And I don't know what to do with it. I interviewed his trainer. We made so many videos. We watched every Raptors 905 game. We did 905 post games because of him last year. And now I don't know what to do with myself. It sucks. I know it's weird to be a Raptors content creator and to be, you know, I saw this post today on X and it said, we're crying about Ulrich Chomsky. We're not serious as a fan base. I think the fact that we're upset that Ulrich got waived shows that we're pretty serious as a fan base. I think it shows that we're pretty serious. I do want to take you through a little bit of Twitter feed because I posted a lot of stuff. Okay. I do post a lot of stuff. Okay. And some of that stuff was a little bit of Scottie propaganda last year. Okay. And some of that stuff is a lot of other stuff. So I just want to come to terms with this, you know, just show y'all some of this. Okay. Here is a really interesting stat about Jakob Poeltl, which I thought was worth bringing up. Here is Jakob Poeltl's rim field goal percentage, 74.5%. Look at the other players on this list, and it's a lot of dunk athletes. Not a lot of guys who do a lot of floater stuff. It's a lot of guys who just get a lot of dunks. And you see it's actually Jonas Valanciunas and Jakob Poeltl, the once former starting center and backup center of the original We the North. Well, not the original We the North, but the revamped We the North 2.0 2017 We the North, that are the lowest in terms of made dunks and the highest in terms of made field goals. This is a very, very positive sign that Jakob Poeltl does not miss bunnies at the rim, and Jakob Poeltl has very good technique and touch around the rim. Very interesting. Okay, this is to show you, this is what Scottie Barnes was doing 2 years ago around Christmas time in December. Over his last 9 games, first 9 of 11 games in December, this is what he was putting up. This is what this guy is capable of. To the people who say, just get into dunker spot, Ben Simmons. Ben Simmons has never shot 41% on high volume 3-point shots for a month, 2 months, 3 months, 5 months, 6 months, no months. I don't think he's done it for a week. Okay. This was rage bait. I want to be clear. This was rage bait. But I do want to show you something, because there was a lot of numbers. There have been a lot of numbers that have been used to quote unquote tear Scottie down. Okay. He's like averaging this in preseason. He's averaging this in preseason, and he's shooting 0% from 3. And by the way, just in case you're counting, he missed every single 3 he took tonight as well. I think he took 2 and he missed both of them. However, I just want to show you Scottie Barnes' numbers per 100 possessions. So no lying, no cheating here. Per 100 possessions, flatten it all out over the first 4 years. Magic Johnson, 22.8, 10.8, 11.3, 4.8 turnovers, 54.2% from two, 16.3% from three, 78.5% from the free throw line. And oh, by the way, he played with the greatest center in NBA history during that time in his prime. Through his first 4 years, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar was still the best center in the NBA and an MVP. By the way, I think multiple MVP in that time. People considered Kareem to be like a top 3 player of all time. Magic played with that dude. Scottie Barnes played with Chris Boucher, okay? And Pascal Siakam, so not Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. And Scottie Barnes, over his first 4 years, 24.5, 10.6, 7 assists, 3.3 turnovers, 52.2% two-point shooting, 30% three-point shooting, 76% free throw shooting. And I said, go cry about it. Shout out to, I don't know if you're familiar with the podcast Pick a Side, but shout out to Joel for commenting. And he said, this can't be serious, man. And I said, these are numbers. Numbers are objective. That's a quote from Magic Johnson saying Scottie Barnes reminds him of himself. It is also objective. Now, context. Magic was way better and won a championship, blah, blah, blah. But don't tell me people weren't comparing Ben Simmons to Magic Johnson through 3 years, and Ben was putting up very similar splits, which is, by the way, true. Okay, so the truth is, Ben Simmons made All NBA pretty much putting up identical numbers to Magic Johnson. Scottie Barnes is putting up pretty identical numbers to Magic Johnson. I pointed to everything here. And I haven't pointed to by the fact Scottie is a way better defender than Magic Johnson. So his head coach at Florida State, Leonard Hamilton, compared him to Magic Johnson. Magic Johnson compared Scottie Barnes to Magic Johnson. But you want to tell me that he's not better than Matas Buzelis? Fuck out of here, man. Morons. So I will address the morons a little bit later in a more empathetic light, but right now I can't be empathetic. I can't be empathetic. The shit that I have read over the last couple of weeks, go fuck yourselves. Okay, I love this quote from Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. This is vibes. Okay, this is vibes. Listen to this.
The Oklahoma City Thunder is the best team in the basketball world. I hope y'all understand that. I hope y'all know that. And we're not going nowhere. So good luck.
Yo, I gotta tell you, I heard Michael Jordan say pretty much the exact same thing in 1991. Chills. Okay. Also, Victor Wembanyama, first player, NBA history, 2,000 points, 1,000 rebounds, 200 blocks, 200 threes in his first 2 seasons. Only player. Crazy. Scottie Barnes is not the only person in Michael Jordan company. By the way, in case you missed it, only players in NBA history through their first 4 years to average 15, 5, 5, 1, and 1, Scottie Barnes and Michael Jordan. But Shai Gilgeous-Alexander also joins Michael Jordan's company as the only guards in NBA history to average 30 points on 50% field goal percentage in 3 consecutive seasons. Yo, Hamilton's finest. Okay, we can definitely talk about Julian Reese right after this, but yes, Julian Reese, Angel Reese's brother. I'm a big Angel Reese fan, by the way. Huge Angel Reese. Don't talk shit about Angel Reese to me because I will not talk about it. Okay, we're not playing with that. Okay. Also, this little clip from Hanson Yang. Shout outs to our Chinese subscribers. Y'all are probably very, very excited about Hanson Yang. I initially didn't get the hype, but I really am starting to root for this kid. Here, he's crying in preseason because he fouled out, and the coach has to console him. He has his towel over his head. He's really upset with himself. Don't tell me Hanson Yang doesn't care about preseason, bro. Hey, that's awesome. Okay. Now, to the people who say, Rob, you keep bringing up this thing from 15 months ago, man. 18 months ago, live in the present. This is Christmas time last year. This is what he was averaging last year on December 24th. 22 points, 8.5 rebounds, 7 assists, 1.4 steals, while averaging a career low 34 minutes per game. 22 points in 34 minutes is pretty much better than what Brandon Ingram was doing last year for the Pelicans, and neither of them were on playoff teams. I don't get it. People really don't want to see this guy be the best player on this team, and it's really freaking weird to me. And I want to show you. This is Christmas 2 years ago, in case anyone remembers. I realize we live in an immediate gratification society where every single person's like, what have you done for me lately, Scottie Barnes? Oh, you missed some layups in preseason. You can't dunk anymore. Oh, you're a bum. You're done to me. Y'all are fucking nuts. Here is what Scottie Barnes was doing a year and a half ago. And this is a really large sample size. This was almost, I believe, 25 games into the season. 25 games is not a small sample size. Here are the top leaders in box plus minus in the NBA during that season up to that point, okay? This was Christmas, by the way. So this was a full 30-ish games, 32 games into the season. Nikola Jokic. No, was it Christmas? Yeah, it was around Christmas time. Nikola Jokic, 15.6, clear ahead of the world. Okay. Joel Embiid, 11.0. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, 10.4. Tyrese Halliburton, 10.2. Tyrese did not maintain this, but holy shit, this was a nice little sign of what was to come. Luka, 8.7. Steph, 8.5, 7.5. LeBron, 7.1. Do we see the bum yet? Is there a bum on this list? Is there an outlier? Is there someone you can point to be like, oh, this stat is stupid? It's not stupid. It literally measures the thing we care about the most, which is what do you contribute to your team's actual success on the box score? That's what Box Plus Minus attempts to measure. Per 100 possessions that you play, is your team this much better or this much worse? By the way, this 6.3, Scottie's numbers were being hurt by Malachi Flynn at this point, Precious Achua, playing second unit lineups because Darko kept inexplicably putting him out there with second unit lineups. Jokic plays the most minutes with his starters, which helps his numbers in Box Plus Minus. This is one of the biggest reasons why Jokic is always so high in this Box Plus Minus number. If Jokic played with as many bench lineups as Shea, Scottie, Kevin Durant, he'd probably be closer to like 13. He'd still be the best player in the league, but not by this margin. Scottie Barnes also had the lowest usage of any player in this top 10. This was not a 5-game sample size, man. This was a 30-game sample size. 30 plus games. Insane. Oh, by the way, same guy who apparently cannot dunk in preseason was doing this a month ago. A month. Hang on. Let me point to how high he gets up by slowing the shit down. Okay? To the people who say Scottie can't jump. Okay. Miss me with that bullshit. Here's Scottie jumping very high and probably higher than you've ever jumped in your life. Okay? Boom, 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 boom. Bro, his head is basically at the rim. What are we doing here? Same guy who can't, right? Okay. William Liu asked Darko Rajakovic if the Raptors would like to do what the Celtics did. We're having a coaches versus media scrum or media game. Hang on one second.
NBA coaches that are playing the media. I think the Nuggets are announced that they're going to do a similar thing. Do you think the Raptors might, with your coaching staff, take on some of the people that you see behind the camera?
I mean, coaches are ready. I don't know if media wants that smoke.
I love that Darko just used the word smoke. That's pretty cool.
You think you can guard me?
Yes, I do. You think you can guard me?
That is the face of a man you do not want to fuck with on the basketball court, William Liu. I promise you he will give you business. Okay? Business. Okay. I'm done with that. Absolutely no hate in my heart for William Liu, but I do not like him. No, I do not. I mince no words about it. I don't think I've ever said I really like him, but yeah, I'm not for some of the shit that he does. It's all very nice. Like he acts very nice and stuff. I understand some people like him. Please go watch the podcast. Shout outs to all that. It ain't like hate. It's just an annoyance because I do listen to enough of it to understand that the narrative that comes out of it is bullshit. Okay. Darko is very much him without forcing it. Absolutely. Okay, let's get to a little bit some super chats here. We have Justin Stewart. Occasional rest games for Scottie, rest games to keep Scottie healthy. No, man, I think at 24 years old, you just have to play through it. I understand a lot of people are concerned about Scottie Barnes' nagging injuries and stuff. I am personally very, very happy that in the last 2 games that he's attacked the rim and not once has he come up gimpy, limping, or holding his ankle. It was a relief. And I think that, he's just getting better at it. He's just getting better at it as he goes, right? Like there was a period of time where he couldn't attack the rim 3 times without rolling his ankle, falling over, looking like he got shot. And people would just troll it because he would come back into the game and he'd look fine. I don't think y'all understand. This guy has an insanely high pain threshold, and certain people, and I knew someone like this once. We used to play basketball together, and if I got the same injury he got, it would take me 3 months to recover. He was back in a week. So some people just have an insanely fast regeneration process, I would say. Like they're just really, really good at recovering through injuries, and some people are really slow at it. Ingram might be a slow healer. Kawhi might be a slow healer. Scottie is like Wolverine. And I've seen players like this. They're just, they sprain an ankle and they're up and running in like 2 days. And I sprained my ankle and I want to say my ankle was like tender for about 2.5 months after I sprained it. Like everyone is different in that sense. Lance Scott with, just a super chat. Appreciate you very, very much. Thank you very much. OT87. He played like a big. 11 free throws versus 2 3-point attempts. See, this is the thing. No, he didn't play like a big at all. He didn't post up all the time. He played like a wing. He played like a rim attacking wing. Like y'all get too caught up in this shit. Like the 3-point attempts versus, like, I'm telling you that for a large sample of time, he's been an above average 3-point shooter. And for a large sample time, he's been below average. But he has to make that shot to open up the court for his teammates and also for himself. The truth is, Dwayne Wade did not hit threes, okay, consistently at all. He was a long mid-range shooter. Nobody in Miami called D Wade a center. LeBron James did not hit threes. LeBron James shot 31% from three. Scottie shoots 30%. Through 4 years, LeBron shot 31% from three. I don't remember anyone calling LeBron James a center, okay? So I understand that y'all listen to some very stupid podcasts. But can we please stop this Scottie is a center nonsense? The fact that he can play a little bit of center does not make him a center. He is clearly a wing or a guard. He has started at point guard through most of high school and college in Division I basketball. He didn't play in Turkmenistan. He played at Florida State as a point guard. He is a point guard. He says he's a point guard. He knows better than you. His trainer says he's a point guard. Okay? He made an all-star team as a shooting guard. He is not a center. Okay? He is not a big. William Lou says he's a big. He always says, oh, Scottie's a power forward. He's like Draymond Green. Cool. I disagree. I simply disagree because I know enough about basketball to know that Scottie Barnes is not a fucking power forward. Okay. When do you see our first trade happening? Good question. I think roll out to a bad start. I would give it 2 months. Come off to a good start. I would give it till the trade deadline. There is no guarantee about the season, playoffs, no playoffs. There is one guarantee, though. A trade will happen. There will be a trade. It will be RJ or IQ or Ochai or Grady or all four. It will be something, okay? 100%. 100%. There will be a trade somewhere, okay? Giannis is also 6'11", man. Is Scottie Barnes 6'11"? Giannis also can't shoot from three. Giannis is also a freakish explosive athlete. Scottie Barnes is not a power forward. No matter how much you want him to be. It's not going to change the fact that he's not a power forward. The fact that he's starting a power forward right now is just a placeholder because right now you have 3 players who cannot start a power forward. It's a very strange thing. This is the only team in the NBA right now that is starting their best player out of position to appease their not best player, second not best player, third not best player. It is weird, but that is where we're at. In an optimal world, Scottie plays either the 1, the 2, or the 3. To anyone who says he doesn't have the handle for it, miss me with that bullshit. Magic didn't have a super dynamic handle either. If you want to run in transition, this guy needs to have the basketball. I say this 100% with conviction. Scottie Barnes playing point guard last year with goggles when Emmanuel Quickley was out was fucking awesome basketball. If you don't remember it, go look at the box scores. Go watch him. Go look at his play during those games. He was good. He was really good. Okay? So just stop. Like, you don't know what you're talking about. And honestly, it's okay. Right? It's okay. If there are any callers, please call in. Link is in the description. I'm going to post it right here in case we get, what was it? Professor Pixel. Professor Pixel was awesome last time. Shout outs to Daryl. Like, honestly, one of the better calls we've had in a really long time. Okay, this is the call-in link. If you would like to call in, if you want to discuss something, I'm in a mood, man. I'm in a mood. I've polished off like half a glass of wine during this game. Vibes. Okay. James Walsh saying, Coach Mo, call in. Coach Mo, it would be great to hear from Coach Mo. It would be great to hear from Vince. It would be great to hear from somebody. I I don't know about out of position. Think he's playing point forward and is a 4. I don't think he's a 4, dude. He's 6'7". He's 6'7" with a 7'4" wingspan. You do not want to play him. Yeah. Vegan Grass saying you missed hello and welcome chat. We had your back. I don't know what happened in the hello and welcome chat. Thank you. Yes, I do want to talk about Julian Reese. So Juju Reese. Okay, shout outs to Juju Reese. 4-year player for Maryland. Played. I ended up watching him by osmosis because I was watching Derek Queen and obviously watched. I should check my notes on this before lying, but I think I watched 15 Maryland games this year. I made a goal to watch at least 8 games of every single team, but Maryland was made a deep tournament run, so I ended up watching some more games. I can't say I was specifically that impressed by him, but there are some good things and some bad things. So the good things, I think he's a very good screener. I think he is a reasonable defender. He is pretty long, like I want to say about 7'1" wingspan, about 6'10" He is wide, like he's a wide guy. You know what I mean? Like he's a very wide guy. He sets good screens. He is like a player who has a little bit of touch around the basket. And let's say this. I would say he's a very high IQ basketball player. Like he's a player that you could realistically see developing as a post-hub type of guy, right? So I like him. I don't have any expectations that he's going to be an NBA player. Oh, I should have mentioned, he's also a very good rebounder. Is he a big? Yes, he is 100% clearly a big. Okay. Layne was good, man.
Yo, how we doing?
We're doing good. You know what? I didn't mention you specifically as someone I was hoping would call in, but you're definitely someone I was hoping would call in. What's up, man?
I appreciate that, man. It's been a long time.
Yeah. Talk to me what the hell happened with the Blue Jays tonight.
I honestly didn't watch. I was watching college football. I was watching Miami lose to Louisville.
You're the baseball guy.
I know.
Damn.
Terry Francona killed my love for baseball after the performance he put up in the playoffs. So
okay, cool. Did you watch any Toronto Raptors this preseason?
I did. I've watched a shit ton, and it is very encouraging. I absolutely love what I see. The level of buy-in is great, even from guys who are below average defenders like RJ Barrett and Grady Dick. The fact that they're getting dirty, I mean, they're still slipping up, they're still making mistakes, but the fact they're willing to get dirty, the fact they're willing to get in passing lanes, tip passes, RJ tonight, even though the rim blocked the ball, the fact that he still went out with the guy, like that's not something he would have done 12 months ago. That's huge.
Yeah.
That's huge. The level of buy-in is absolutely amazing so far. I guess my biggest question is, when Colin Murray-Boyles is back, who do you think sacrifices the most minutes on that bench? Because I think I know my answer, but I wonder what yours is.
It's probably going to be Jacoby.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Yeah. I don't like it, but I understand Grady is the lottery pick. He's the one who's sooner approaching the contract extension. You have to know what you have with Grady. Like I think a lot of people who played maybe rec league basketball or something, or maybe high school basketball, try to equate the experiences of pro players to their own players, but there's an additional thing. You weren't professional. You weren't a paid basketball player, so you were never an asset that could be moved. Grady is an asset that can be moved, and frankly has to be moved if he's not going to work out. You cannot sign him to, I don't know, what would a Grady extension look like?
Probably like a Norman Powell first contract, in my opinion. That 3 years, $8-9 million a year type of thing.
Yeah. I mean, 3 years, $35 million is probably what the Raptors would top out at with Grady based on what we've seen so far. And that could be an interesting value deal. Okay, so here's the thing. It's very interesting to me that the Raptors signed Gary Trent to like a $54 million deal and then saw him sign back-to-back minimums. It's very interesting that the Raptors signed Chris Boucher to a $34 million deal and saw him sign a minimum. It's very interesting to see Jabari Smith, who, by the way, in my opinion, is freaking awesome and is going to be so amazing for the Houston Rockets, making less money than Emmanuel Quickley. Jalen Suggs, who, granted, injury, major concerns, way better than Emmanuel Quickley to me. Again, just my view on it. Dyson Daniels is struggling struggling to get $30 million a year in a league where Emmanuel Quickley gets paid 32. Trey Murphy got paid $30 million in a league where Emmanuel Quickley got 32.
I hate so much how contracts kind of change our view on a player for what they are, but I mean, it's an unfortunate reality of what it is, right? Like Emmanuel Quickley at $24-25 million a year, hell of a player. Emmanuel Quickley at $32 million a year, I'm not so excited about it, you know? Yep. And that's kind of the way I feel. I mean, it's fair and it's not fair at the same time, but if he can do what he did tonight and clean up the mistakes, like make 50% less mistakes, he's fine. He's fine. If he continues doing what he did the first 5 preseason or the first 4, because he only played, what did he play, 3 or 4?
He played 4.
Yeah, if he does what he did the first 4, we're in a world of trouble. Even though he was on ball a little bit more tonight, he played a lot more through Scottie, which was really, really nice to see. But I'm with you. Like, I'm watching the games, and he does not take one screen, like, at all. And it's like you have one of the slowest first steps on the team. You have to take that screen. You got to take that screen. And is that on the fact that Jakob's probably – I mean, Scottie's okay at setting screens. He's kind of hit or miss. But other than Scottie and Jakob, like, I don't see anybody else setting a hard screen. CMB, yeah, true. But, I mean, how much have we seen that?
I mean, he hasn't played the last few games. But I think CMB – honestly, I can make a case that CMB might be the best screener on this team by the end of the year.
I can make a case that CMB is probably the 1B to Scottie defensively on this team by the end of the year.
He's the 1B to Scottie right now.
You said it on me.
He's that good. He's that good. He's a really good defender, and everyone else is a really bad defender. Also, I didn't shout it out during the film session, but I was really, really, really encouraged by Brandon Ingram's defense tonight. I loved it. He's rebounding. He's getting scrappy. He's, what do you think of this? Big Young Lion said CMB should start at the 5. What do you think about this? I mean, I just want to let you know, Big Young Lion, he will start at the 5 when Jakob Poeltl is out.
Yep. That's the way this thing's trending. You have enough length with if they keep Scottie, even if Scottie moves to the 1 or the 2, but as of right now, like him at the 4, CMB at the 5, like you have enough length in that front court to make it happen easily.
Yeah. Johnny G saying Scottie is a power forward, period. Then explain to me why his toughest stretches of basketball have come as a power forward and why his all-star season came as a shooting guard. Go ahead. Make it make sense to me. And please do not say William Liu told me he was a power forward, because I don't buy that as valid basketball excuse.
Listen, Rob, we could go back 2 years onto our conversations, and my biggest gripe of trading Siakam was the fact that Scottie would have to play the 4 at Pascal left. And I did not like Scottie at the 4. That was my biggest issue with it. I mean, we can go back 2 years of conversations, and that was my biggest issue. I mean, I don't think he's a 4. I don't think he functions well as a 4, because he's always going to guard out of position, and that's going to leave RJ on a mismatch. If Grady's on the floor, it's going to leave Grady on a mismatch on a much bigger guy than him, because Scottie's either going to have to guard the other team's best player or the other team's biggest player most of the time.
Yep. Absolutely. I agree. And I mean, look, as a small forward or a shooting guard, I prefer him at the 2, and I prefer Ingram at the 3. And I would love like a point guard like Kyrie Irving. I know I'm aiming very high. Okay. I'm aiming very high, but it would be brilliant. Did you watch any WNBA this year?
I mean, highlights, to be honest. I'm not going to lie. Highlights on like ESPN and Sports.
There's this particular team, the Minnesota Lynx, and they have this player, Nafisa Collier. And I think she's very Barnes adjacent. She was an MVP candidate this year, and she actually became the second player in league history to hit the 50-40-90 club, which is, far, far away from what Scottie's doing right now. But they're just very similar in players in terms of connective. She's a better screener than Scottie. So fair where fair is. She's a better shooter and screener than Scottie. But her game is very similar to Scottie. And what she has around her are like 5 stretch bigs, and every guard is an attack guard. Like every guard is tight handle, quick first step, good mid-range shooter. And what she is able to do with these moving pieces and all the space that these moving pieces generate is so beautiful. It's almost surprisingly lost. But they lost partially because she got injured. So I think building around Scottie comes down to literally the same blueprint that the Minnesota Lynx used. And if I'm Bobby Webster, I'm looking at the Minnesota Lynx and I'm like, that's how we do it. We need stretch bigs and we need dynamic guards. I think the Raptors have tried to build around Scottie like he's Giannis. And I think you'd be better off building around Scottie like he's Jokic.
Yeah, I honestly agree with that. But I mean, this year, I wonder what your opinion is on this. I feel like this team right now has more talent on it, deeper talent on it, not more, but deeper talent on it than any Nuggets team that Jokic has ever had has. Obviously, Jamal Murray is a hell of a player. You know, he's maybe not as good as he was 3-4 years ago, but he's still a hell of a player.
Mm-hmm.
But I feel like we maybe 1 through 4 is about even. And then when you get to the 7, 8, 9, 10, you know, I mean, that's a lot more depth than any Nuggets team with Jokic, I think, in my opinion, has ever had. I mean, I think it's built very well. I think that I really like that. They're letting guys in the past. I feel like they've let guys mess up too much. This year, they're not letting guys mess up. You know, Grady starts getting lazy on defense. Jacoby time. Jacoby starts bricking shots. Grady time, right? If Ochai, you know, keeps looking invisible on the court like he has, maybe we're going to see more Jacoby and Grady together, right? Like they're not going to let guys go out there and do what they've done the last 2 to 3 years. And I think a lot of that kind of fell on Darko the last 2 or 3 years when it's really not a Darko issue. It's a depth issue, and they've addressed that now. They've made it so that there's a healthy competition in that locker room. I mean, even a guy like if Shed starts screwing up, which I don't think he will. I think Shed's a hell of a player. I mean, Chucky Hepburn, here you go. Let's see what you can do. Like you're so deep now in terms of you can find a replacement from anywhere. You can find a replacement from anywhere.
Who is on our team on the bench better than Josh Hart?
On the bench better than Josh Hart? Like right now?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if there's any. But
nobody is. Yeah. Who? How many players are better than Gershon Yabusele on our bench?
Oh God. Honestly, 2. I would say 1, and then one's 50-50.
How many players are better than Jordan Clarkson?
3. At this point in his career, 3.
Who are the 3 bench players better than Jordan Clarkson?
At this point that I would take Grady Dick, because he does more than just
not as a trade asset, as a player right now.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay,
Grady Dick is a good scorer.
Okay.
Colin Murray, Boyles, that defense is insane, and Mamu, easy. I would take Mamu. I would take a stretch 5 right now over Jordan Clarkson, and I think the Knicks would too.
I think the only lock to be better than Jordan Clarkson this year. Okay, what about Deuce McBride? This is tough.
That's a very tough one. None.
Okay, perfect. So to clarify the concept of the Raptors being deep, there are 2 players on the Knicks bench that are better than every player coming off our bench. And there are 2 to 3 players on the Knicks bench that are better than most of the players coming off our bench. I understand that people get like very, very bogged down by like this idea of like quantity, but I want quality. And Mamu is quality. Shout outs to Mamu. He is absolute quality.
I think the quality is young though, right? Like a guy like Yabusele, he's, you know, I mean, even though this is technically his third 27. Year, but he's like played
Mamu's 26, he's 27.
Right.
I mean, I want to remind you. I want to remind you. Elijah Martin gonna be 24 this year, my friend.
Deuce, okay,
like shit.
But you know, Deuce McBride is now what, 5 or 6 years into his NBA career, correct?
Yeah, no, I don't think so. I don't think he's 6 years into
fact check me, because I would guarantee you if it is 5 or 6, I think Shed's going to be that good in year 5 or 6 for him.
That's a high bar, man.
It is a high bar, but it's not just shooting for Shed. It's also the defensive side. He sees the floor really well.
Deuce is a better defender than Fred. So this is going into year 5 for Deuce. So he's been in the NBA since Scottie. He came out in Scottie's draft class.
Perfect. Give Shed 3 more years. I'm very high on him because of who he is as a human being.
Okay. So I want to remind you that in his 3rd season, Deuce McBride shot 41% from 3. Do you see Jamal Shed shooting 41% from 3 ever?
No, but ever? It may be one really weird outlier year. But other than that, I feel like though to make up that shooting gap, Shed just does the little things right. And I'm not saying Deuce McBride doesn't, but I think Shea goes over the top with it, right? Like, it's almost comparing apples to oranges, even though they play the same position. And obviously, McBride's the better player right now, but give it 3 years. Give it 3 years. Like, we have really good ideas, but for the first time in forever, our ideas are actual NBA players.
Right.
That's the difference.
I like Jamal Shedd's basketball IQ. I like CMB's basketball IQ. I like Sandro's basketball IQ. I like Jacoby's basketball IQ. I overall just like our bench's basketball IQ.
They can hold it down. They can hold it down. If you want to put BI and RJ out there with Mamu, CMB, and Grady, like, I have absolutely, like, they can hold it down. Or Shed, combination of like one of those 6, they can hold it down. Like, we don't have Javon Freeman Liberty out there getting 20 minutes a game anymore. Like, that's not
Javon catching strays. I like Javon.
I like him too, but come on, he's not an NBA player. He's a concept. We now have we have concepts now, but these concepts are actual NBA players.
I want to be fair. Elijah Martin is a concept. Okay.
Elijah Martin.
Mother effing Jones said, "I just got in, but I already know you're talking your shit right now. Since people want to overreact, let's do it with the props too." Yeah, motherfucker, let's do it. Because honestly, I've heard so much shit about Scottie Barnes on his bad performances. I don't want to hear jack shit from anybody about his, it's just preseason. Because if it's just preseason, then why were you talking shit for an entire week and a half? Why do I have 50 people in my mentions every hour seeing be like, oh, Scottie shooting 13%, 18%. Like, okay, it's just preseason. I know it's preseason. I know what this guy can do. Like, this has been a frustrating week. It's been a frustrating week to be a Raptors fan, man. What do you think? Okay, so I got 2 questions for you. Number 1, Raptors win total. What do you got? First of all, Vegas, 39 wins. Over, under?
Over. Can I give
How far
2?
over?
Can I give 2? 43.5. I would take the over on 43.5. If Scottie Barnes shoots 35% from 3, give me the over on 47.5.
Oh my God. Okay. We're swinging the wins by 4 wins based on Scottie shooting 4 to 5% better.
Yes, because that's going to open up so much more for him if he can shoot 35% from 3.
I agree. Okay. My second question to you is, who do you have coming out of the East? Who do you have coming out of the West? Eastern Conference Finals, Western Conference Finals, and ultimately, who do you have the championship?
God. Out of the East, I hate to say it, New York.
Okay.
Out of the West, Oklahoma City.
Hold on. New York over who in the Eastern Conference Finals?
Oh, I want to say Cleveland, but I don't believe in Cleveland.
So New York over Cleveland. So interestingly enough, when we were doing our preview on the panel, I said or Cleveland over Orlando.
I don't like Orlando as much as everyone else does. I'm just not a fan.
Why not?
I'm just not a fan. I feel like they're too, like, the ceiling is very high, but I feel like the floor is also very low. Like, they could be that team.
When you defend that well, how can your floor be low? Like, defense gets you through the regular season. You just beat the shit out of teams. Like a team like Brooklyn could never beat a team like Orlando, in my opinion.
No, playoff. But I mean, like, playoff wise, like, they could get boat raced in the playoffs very easily. Very easily.
But Paolo is a very different player in the playoffs, and he's played really well the last couple of years. Do you buy the Evan Mobley, development hype? Because his trainer has been going on a frigging mission right now to make it known that had the Cavaliers gone through him a little bit more last season, they might have won a championship.
I mean, I'm seeing him twice in the next month, so we'll see. I'm going to both those games. I'm very excited about it, but I mean,
if NBA players were a stock right now,
I think he's a very fine player, but I think he's just a product of playing around a really good guard when he's on the floor. Not to say he wouldn't be good, but here's the thing, man.
He's Chris Bosh-ish.
You switch out Evan Mobley and Scottie Barnes, how much better are the Cavs? And how much worse are the Raptors? I just said the answer right there, right? He's a great young player right now who's playing around really good players. And he's
so you know that you're talking to probably the biggest Scottie Barnes fan in the world, right? Like, you know that, right? So please understand what I'm about to say. The Raptors with Evan Mobley and the Cavs with Scottie Barnes, I think both teams might be better.
I really disagree. I think the Raptors, like, passing wise, oh my God, we're so much worse.
Forget the passing. Your defense would go to a completely different level because he literally shores up your need to have Jakob Poeltl out there.
So but I mean, you got to put the ball in the basket.
Okay,
Like, defense doesn't matter.
the following starting lineup, okay, and please understand, do not fucking clip this and try to say that I'm trying to everyone out there. Don't clip this and say I'm trying to suggest trading Scottie Barnes. I'm trying to give respect to Evan Mobley because I really respect Evan Mobley. Imagine the starting lineup of Emmanuel Quickly, RJ Barrett, Colin Murray Boyles, Brandon Ingram, and Evan Mobley. See my point? You have a spacing 5 who shot 37% from 3 last year. You have an absolute rim protector and a rebounding demon. You place CMB in a sort of Scottie adjacent role. I would also argue that like Scottie fits even better with Cleveland. Like I think he makes them even better because they don't have as much need for rim protection because they have Jared Allen, right? So I could actually make a case that like both teams would be better. And also, like I can make a case that the Pistons could be better with Scottie Barnes and the Raptors could be better with Cade. So it's like these guys are all very interchangeable to me. It's the same thing with Franz. Like I don't think the gap is so large. I just think Scottie deserves some respect to be in these conversations with these guys. Like I understand that like Scottie had a lot of success in his first 3 seasons, the 2.5 seasons. Let's call it 2.5 seasons. He was victory lapping his entire class, and he was ahead of Şengün and ahead of. But those guys last year, they all made the playoffs.
I hate to interject, but like, why was he victory lapping these guys? Because he had a complete team around him. Now that these other dudes have complete teams around them, guess what? Now they look better than Scottie. Okay, this is the first time in Scottie's career since his second year in the NBA he's had a serious team around him. Or I mean, even the second year team is probably not serious, but it was semi-serious. They tried to be serious.
I mean, they tried to be serious, but they had no bench, right? So like, it's almost like if I could put Scottie on the New York Knicks in place of Karl-Anthony Towns, or on the Boston Celtics in place of Jason Tatum, like he'd be all NBA, easily all NBA.
I don't know about that Knicks team. I don't know about that. I think Karl-Anthony Towns does a lot with them with his floor spacing.
That's fair, but Mikal Bridges plus, you know, I think Scottie would bring a completely different dimension to their defense. They would become the best defensive team in the league overnight. Like they'd be the second best defensive team in the league. You replace Karl-Anthony Towns with Scottie Barnes, and like I think you get so much better defensively. And you already have Mitchell Robinson in there, provided Mitchell Robinson could actually be like healthy. If you replace Scottie with Bam Adebayo, I think I would have the Heat finishing like with Scottie with Hero plus Wiggins plus Norman Powell. Like that's the team, right? So it's just like for the Raptors, the cost here is how do you put the team around him that he actually needs? And like the first thing is get a stretch 5. Like get a stretch 5. So I'm very happy they got Mamu. Like I was the happiest person in the world when they got Mamu. It was great.
And CMB's misses aren't terrible. His misses are not terrible. Yeah. It's there. It's 100% there. My fault. That was long-winded. What was your second question?
My second question, you already answered my second question.
Oh, okay.
My second question was that. Anyways, any final thoughts, man?
Yeah, I don't see how we're 7-point underdogs to Atlanta. Not saying we're gonna win. I just don't think Atlanta's that much better than us. I think it's gonna be fun. I think we're probably gonna take a few lumps early in the year, but I hope that we don't. I hope that the fan base. I don't want to meet
on the road. I think they're gonna whoop our ass. I'm gonna be honest. I know I'm a Raptor fan, but that Atlanta team looks very good, very dialed in. I don't know who's injured, provided they're healthy. Who's injured for them right now?
I thought Jalen Johnson was dealing with something.
If Jalen Johnson's out, then I flip my opinion completely. But he's looked great in preseason. If Kristaps is playing, Jalen Johnson's playing, Dyson is playing, Nickeil Alexander-Walker is playing. My God, man, that is a really good team. Trey is playing. Scottie and BI are gonna have to bring it in that game, and Jakob Poeltl is gonna have to be healthy. I'm a little bit concerned that my soon to be $27 million center at some point is approaching 30 and having back issues. Like back issues are very serious. You know this.
Yeah, that's scary.
The worst thing in the world. So lower back issues to me for a 7-footer, it's like, please God, do not turn into like some sort of, year-long thing for Yak. If he needs to rest him, 100% rest him until he's healthy. Because I don't want this shit worsening. But yeah. Anyways, man, any final thoughts?
Yeah. I really like tonight too how BI didn't need the shoot to be effective, right? They gave him that last shot of the game, which is exactly what he needs to do to ice it. And we saw for the first time since 2019 what that looks like. We did. We really did. A guy like that, pulling up for that 3 off the dribble, step back, like that's we haven't seen them forever.
Okay, game seven, Philadelphia fading away over 2 defenders versus against the Nets. Like, let's be real.
No, I know. I'm saying the level of shot creation.
Sorry, I'm a little bit triggered by the comparisons of Brandon Ingram to Kawhi Leonard because Bobby Webster's inexplicably done it twice. And as someone who loves Brandon Ingram, I do not want this fan base to expect
it's not
Kawhi Leonard.
It's not Kawhi I'm talking about. I mean, it's a little bit Kawhi. I'm talking more a little bit Kalo. Kalo was doing that back in 2019 too. That off the dribble stuff.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, it's the first time we've seen it consistently.
Well, Ingram is closer to Kalo than he is to Kawhi. That'll give you for sure.
Definitely.
I hope Scottie and Brandon both have All-Star seasons. That would be dope. Imagine, when's the last time the Raptors had 2 All-Stars at the All-Star game? Was it Kyle and DeMar, or was it
it was Kyle and
Kawhi?
Because they did the superhero promo for them.
Dude, I'm gonna make a video the second Scottie and BI make the All-Star team. The last time the Raptors had 2 All-Stars, they won a championship. Playing the parade. All right, man. Peace.
Yes, sir. Good night, man.
Enjoy. Have a good night. We got Elton calling in. Elton, what's good, man?
Hey, what's going on?
What's good, man?
Yeah, I just wanted to ask a question about Barnes.
Go ahead. What's up?
How do you feel about Barnes's performance today?
Feel great.
How do you feel about
it?
Pardon me?
How do you feel about it?
I feel he's good. He's good and all around the rim, and his finishing ability is good. But my only concern behind Barnes is whether he'll stay healthy and contribute around the team at the 4 or the 3, depending on if he stays healthy.
Okay, so I mean, he's had a lot of knick-knack injuries and stuff, but overall he's played through a lot of pain. I'm just confused. Are you concerned about Brandon Ingram's injuries?
No, not Brandon Ingram's injuries in particular, but
you're concerned about Scottie Barnes' injuries, but you're not concerned about Brandon Ingram's injuries?
No, not really.
Why?
Because I feel as if Scottie Barnes needs to develop. His development around the Raptors isn't fully there yet, isn't fully established.
He was 23 the last time he played a regular season game. How many players do you know that are regularly established at 23? It's not a lot, right? I mean,
Cade Cunningham is there at least.
Okay. Do you think so far it would be fair to say that Cade has had a better career than Scottie?
So far, yes. Aside the injury, though.
Okay. I would love to actually have this conversation because I think that it's a conversation that's worth noting, but I don't think that we can have this conversation without a little bit of data. So I want to bring up a little bit of data to, perhaps add a little bit of context to what we're talking about. So, number one, Scottie has played 70 more games than Cade.
Mm-hmm.
Does that surprise you?
No, not at all.
But you have problems with Scottie's injury history. But Cade has had a better career?
Cade has had some injury problems himself, but...
Is it surprising to you that Scottie Barnes has, on his career, averaged a more efficient scoring than Cade? That he is more efficient in terms of effective field goal percentage? Scottie Barnes has a higher true shooting percentage than Cade Cunningham. Is that surprising to you?
But Scottie's not leading us to the point where we're making the playoffs like the way Cade is. He's not really making that impact, if I'm not mistaken.
But Scottie was playing with Colin Castleton last year, and Orlando Robinson, and Emmanuel quickly missed 50 games. If Cade, do you remember when Cade Cunningham lost 27 straight games?
Yeah, I remember.
Have you ever seen Scottie Barnes lose 27 straight games?
No.
Okay. So, I mean, Scottie has a higher value of replacement. He has a higher true shooting percentage. He has a higher box plus minus. He has more win shares. So you say Scottie hasn't led to winning. Scottie has literally how we measure winning in basketball is win shares. It is an estimated. So every single game results in 3 win shares, and those win shares are distributed among the players on the team. Scottie on his career has 19.4 win shares. Cade has 7. So he has 3 times as many win shares as Cade Cunningham. He has played 70 more games than Cade Cunningham. He has a higher value of replacement than Cade Cunningham. He has a higher true shooting percentage than Cade Cunningham. The only thing Cade Cunningham has on Scottie is that he had a better season last year. That's it. That's it. That's literally all Cade has done. That's it. And you know what? I want to ask you actually a question because like it's a good opportunity to have an honest faith question. Do you listen to any other Raptor podcasts?
Pardon me?
Do you listen to any other Raptor podcasts?
Yeah, I do all the time.
Okay, can I guess which ones you listen to?
Yeah, sure.
Do you listen to Hello and Welcome?
Sometimes.
Did you listen to the Raptors show?
The one that recently dropped?
Like the Raptors show, like the one with Blake Murphy and Alex Wong and William Liu and stuff. You used to listen to that? Yeah.
Once in a while.
Do you listen to Raptors Republic?
No, I don't listen to them.
So I think you should listen to a little bit more Raptors Republic, personally. That's just my honest opinion, unsolicited. My honest opinion is you listen to Raptors Republic because I think you're listening to the wrong people, man. I appreciate Cade. I think Cade is an awesome basketball player. I think Scottie's an amazing basketball player, man. Like, I think people in the city don't understand how good this guy is. The numbers really reflect how good he is. But you know what? He's just kind of an unconventional dude, man. Like, his game doesn't look as flashy or as smooth as Cade. You know what I mean? So it's just like, when I look at Cade play basketball, that's like, what did you play basketball growing up? I'm assuming you did.
I played
right?
a lot of basketball growing up. Yeah,
I felt like you did. I could hear from your voice that you did. You know, like just how you're talking. Like I can sense that you played a lot of basketball. Cade is like a hooper's hooper. You know, like it's like the guy that like you could tell when that guy walks on the court, that's the guy we're giving the ball to. I get it. Scottie's not like that. Like Scottie's not the guy that's very obvious. But honestly, like neither was Magic. Like neither was Jokic. Neither is Kawhi necessarily. You know, when he's young. So I'm gonna give you. Let's just test it out. Who scored more points in their first 4 years, Scottie or Scottie Pippen? Scottie Barnes or Scottie Pippen?
Repeat the question one more time.
Who scored more points per game? So I don't care about who got injured, whatever. Points per game in their first 4 seasons, Scottie Barnes or Scottie Pippen?
Scottie Barnes.
Correct. Scottie Barnes or Kawhi Leonard?
Scottie Barnes.
Correct. Scottie Barnes or Giannis Antetokounmpo?
Giannis.
Incorrect. Scottie Barnes. Scottie Barnes or Jimmy Butler?
Scottie Barnes.
Correct. So for the guy who came in as a 0-level scorer who was a project, and some people said he was 2 years away from being 2 years away, wouldn't you say averaging 17.2 is pretty impressive?
Yeah, I'm not discrediting him. I'm saying he has potential. Just the injuries is the only like nagging issue behind him not developing himself at a high level.
No, I get what you're saying, right? But like you said you weren't worried about Brandon Ingram being injured, and my bro, like he played 18 games last year. He played 18 games last year. You're not worried about Brandon Ingram's injuries, but you're worried about Scottie Barnes' injuries. He played 70 games more than Cade, and they were drafted in the same draft class, but you're not worried about Cade's injuries. So why are you worried about Scottie's injuries? Like Scottie showed me at least that he can bounce back real quick. Like Scottie ain't missed an entire year due to injuries. He ain't missing like half a year due to injury. He come back. Like when Joel Embiid stepped on his ankle in the playoffs, he came back in 2 games. That looked bad, bro. Like, I mean, you played basketball.
Yeah,
most of us would miss like 3 weeks on that shit. 7-foot guys, 300 pounds, steps on your ankle. You go the other way. You miss in 3 weeks. This dude was in a walking boot. He comes back the next game. You know what I mean? So I just feel like I hope this city respects this dude more. Because honestly, I'm gonna tell you this: like this dude like really put out for the city. He like wearing Canada jerseys. He's like shouting out the Raptor fans. He goes around the city. He's like props to everybody. He like embraced Toronto in a way like I didn't see any Toronto Raptor ever embrace the city like this. Maybe since Vince DeMar. That's it. Like early Vince, you know, doing his charity events and stuff. Like, I don't know how old you are, but Vince used to do like charity events every summer to get NBA stars to come to Toronto because he wanted to show them Caravana. He wanted to show them stuff. Scottie puts out for this city. Scottie puts on for Canada. He's always like very pro Canada. He's showing up to Leaf games. Like, I wish that this city would show him a little bit more love, and they just don't. Like, and I feel like when this guy blossoms into all NBA and he got a max extension coming up, and there starts to be rumors. Well, I mean, he already got the max extension, in fairness. But I'm saying when he comes up for his next contract, and there's rumors that maybe he wants to go home to Miami, or maybe he wants to go to LA because he grew up a Magic and Kobe fan, I feel like people are going to be crying because they're going to be like, oh my God, we're going to lose a top 5 player in the league.
I doubt it.
You doubt it?
I doubt it. The Lakers currently have an all-time star right now, Luka Doncic, and he's only, what, 25?
He's 26.
Look at the way he impacts the game offensively.
Yeah, but
right?
Luka was a freaking professional basketball player when he was 13 years old. Luka was like phenom. Like, not everyone is Luka and LeBron, my guy. Like, if you're worried about Scottie's, like, here's the thing. If you're worried about Scottie's three-point shooting, LeBron shot the same percentage. Magic shot a worse percentage. D-Wade shot 24% from 3 through his first 4 years. No one was worried about that shit. If you're worried about his injuries, Cade's played 70 fewer games. Brandon Ingram played 60 fewer games last season than him. So it's just, I feel like there's this thing about what you focus on amplifies in life. Anything you focus on amplifies. If you focus on your feet a lot, you start to get really, really detail oriented about your feet. You focus on, basketball a lot, you become really good at it. If you're practicing basketball, you focus on your form shooting a lot, you become a better shooter. I feel like people
100%.
focus on Scottie's flaws a lot. They don't really focus on his strengths. If I told you there was a guy who could guard 1 through 5, play 1 through 5, and score 17 points per game, and is a great communicator and a great team leader and a great community guy, and he's like anchoring a top 5 defense. The Raptors had a top 3 defense after the All Star break last year, and that's him. He was top 14 in defensive EPM last year. That's him. He's the best defender on your team.
Yeah, Scottie's up there.
Right. So it's like, what's the beef that this city has with this guy?
I don't know, but I think it's the injuries. People have concern about his injuries and how many games he played during last season.
He played 65 games. He played 65 games. That's a lot of games. No, it's not, isn't it? That's not a lot of games. 65 games, not a lot of games. He on a tanking team, that's not a lot of games.
So it's a good amount.
Like, Emmanuel played 33 games last year. Like,
and he's our primary point guard, right? But
do you know? Okay, there's only one player on this team who played more games than Scottie Barnes last year. Do you know who it is? Jamal Shed. Ochai played 64. Mobo played 63. Battle played 59. RJ Barrett played 58. Jakob played 57. Grady played 54. Jacoby played 52. Chris played 50. Granted, Chris was not hurt. They sat him out. Davion Mitchell played 44. Emmanuel quickly played 33. Bruce Brown played 18 of a potential 50. But Scottie's the one we're worried about injuries with? I don't get it, man. I don't get it. Anyways, any final thoughts, man?
Yeah. How do you feel about quickly being more like selfless on the ball during preseason?
I don't understand the question. What do you mean selfless on the ball?
Like selfless in terms of like his playmaking.
Isn't all playmaking selfless for the most part? Or are you talking about like selfish assists versus unselfish assists?
Yeah, like him being more like good on the ball rather than off the ball.
I prefer him off the ball personally, much more. I think the offense should run through Scottie and BI 80% of the time. I think Quickly should be a movement shooter in this offense and a relocate spot up guy. Cutting back door. I think RJ should be a transition guy who, scraps for offensive rebounds and cuts back door when BI or Scottie get ganged up on. I would rather put the ball in my 2 best playmakers' hands. I think Quickly is the 4th best playmaker in the starting lineup. So
yeah,
that's my view.
Another issue is like quickly sometimes he does a little bit like he over dribbles sometimes.
I agree with that 100%. I think he's actually his biggest weakness is he over dribbles and he doesn't map the court very well. Anyways, man, thanks for calling in. Appreciate you very, very much. Thank you. Hope this discussion was respectful. And I know we disagree probably on Scottie and his injury stuff, but I hope he has a really healthy season, man.
Yeah, me too.
All right. Peace, Elton.
All right. You too. Take care.
Peace. Hey, this is the internet and we have respectful disagreements. It's good. I hope that discussion was useful for people to maybe defeat some of the Scottie Barnes stuff. I don't like how this guy's covered. I've never liked it. I saw it right away. Before he was drafted, I saw how he was going to be covered. I saw how people like him are often covered in this city. I have a lot of things to say about it, but I promise you this, as God is my witness, when this guy becomes a superstar and start making all NBA team regularly and starts being in MVP talks, I have a receipts folder that has 816 files in it. I checked this today. 816 files. This includes tweets, video clips. Y'all are going to pay. I don't mean to sound unhinged, but y'all tried to destroy this man's reputation. Y'all tried to destroy this man's career in a lot of ways. Y'all tried to have him shipped out, traded. Y'all tried to poison this fan base in terms of who this guy is. Y'all tried to question his work ethic, even though he was exceeding expectations. Y'all tried to question his toughness, his attitude, his leadership, his character, his mental health. You fucking assholes. Ain't gonna happen. Ain't gonna happen. Not on my watch, bro. No. Then we be unhinged. That's okay. I am comfortable in doing this because you know what? Let me put it this way. I promised myself when I watched this happen to Vince, wasn't going to let it happen to another player. I wish I had a platform when Vince was still here. I wonder if I would have been able to turn around this fan base on Vince Carter. If I had a podcast, if podcasts existed in 2005, I believe that I could have changed the narrative because I knew the truth. I knew the truth that Vince wasn't faking injuries, that he didn't hate basketball, that he didn't not care about basketball, that he wasn't not tough, that he did love basketball. It's unfortunate how much the media changes narratives. Andrea Bargnani gave a quote to Italian media one time about how his team, how he hopes that his team will be better this season or something like that. And it got misconstrued as Andrea Bargnani slams his teammates because it was lost in translation. And as someone who speaks Italian, I understood the original translation was not what the media translated it to be. And then his teammates hated him the entire season. Hated him. They confronted him. They said, what the fuck? And they were done with him. And once the star player doesn't have the buy-in of the team, so when you start questioning this guy's work ethic, his character, start spreading rumors about him, his teammates see that. His teammates hear that. Emmanuel Quickley's family hears that Scottie Barnes is XYZ. I won't say the A word, but they hear that. Yo, bro, how you feel about your franchise player being acoustic? Brandon Ingram hears that from his family. Yo, how you feel about your star player having work ethic issues? Your reputations are very important. As someone who has willfully, by the way, destroyed my own reputation multiple times in my life, in multiple circles, and I'm probably doing a very good job of it this week, I am very aware of it because I'm not as stupid as I sound. I promise I'm at least 10% smarter than I sound. And thank you. Leslie K saying Terrence Ross talked about it. Yes, he did. So, Vegan Grass saying they follow each other on Instagram. It's true. I guess we're talking about Chloe Kitts versus Colin Murray Boyles. Yes. So if you could see Chloe Kitts' reaction when Colin Murray Boyles got drafted, you could pretty much see the breakup coming from a million miles away. I heard a rumor around last year that Colin Murray Boyles wanted to stay at South Carolina to stay with Chloe. They were just starting out their relationship, so it was just getting a little bit public at that time. And, I largely believe that was the reason he didn't come out of South Carolina. And I largely believe that's the reason he had his reaction on draft night, that he was sure that maybe he wanted to be a little bit closer to South Carolina. And he's a South Carolina guy. He's from South Carolina. She's playing in South Carolina. Family's in South Carolina. So, coming to Toronto, she just got injured. She's going to miss the entire year. I can understand the breakup, man. But I'm going to say this, like, if if that's what breaks you up, you're not meant to be together. I'm gonna say that. But I hear it, I feel it, and look, man, I've been a 21-year-old that got dumped. I haven't gotten dumped very often in my life, but I was 21 and I got dumped, and it felt like the end of the world. So I'm gonna have a lot of empathy for CMB. That's a very public breakup with a very public figure. And by the way, quite frankly, a woman that a lot of people think is like one of the most attractive women in female hoops. Chloe Kitts is a baddie, according to some people. So, you feel for the guy, but hopefully he will take out his vengeance on the court. Hopefully this is not something that distracts him too much. Andy Walken saying, I really like what I saw from Scottie today. Sure, man. But he could have done this at any point. That's the point. He could do this at any point. This is not a concern. At no point have I ever been concerned whether he can beat Michael Porter Jr. to the rim. Like, it's never. Okay. Cass saying, W Layne. I've been saying he needs to call in. Shout out to Layne, absolutely. And shout outs to all of you. Shout outs to all of you. 313 of you in here at 11:50 at night. Thank you very much for joining Pensare Basketball Live. And, that concludes preseason. We lost Ulrich Shamshi. We lost our minds over a whole bunch of meaningless games that didn't count. And now I look forward to the season. The season starts Wednesday. I am looking forward to it. That's 5 days away. The Raptors have some time to hopefully get Jakob Poeltl right. They'll need him on opening night. The season is not going to be easy. I actually have a couple of videos coming out next week. One is at least my Eastern Conference, Western Conference preview I want to do, and I still want to do that top 50 Raptor peaks of all time video, but that's now on the back burner a little bit. I still want to do the Scottie Barnes, best person to compare him to video. But yeah, like overall, we need to do an Eastern Conference, Western Conference preview. And I will say this, I think this conference is a little bit better than people realize. I think there's a world in which the Celtics are competitive, the Bucks are competitive, the Pacers, I feel a little bit less certain will be competitive. And honestly, I think the Raptors can beat all three of these teams in a head-to-head, but that's not really the point. At the end of the year, all wins count the same, So you're gonna have teams like Washington, Charlotte probably, but even Charlotte could be a bit of a surprise. Everyone says the West, the East is wide open, but they don't realize you still got to play the West 2 times every single time. And there's like 12 to 13 teams in the Western Conference that should beat most Eastern Conference teams. So the only easy games in the West are Utah. That's it. Is it just Utah? It's got to be just Utah. I'm thinking here. It's just Utah, right? Utah is the only easy game in the Western Conference right now. I mean, you can really stretch your eye and be like, oh, the Pelicans will be easy if Zion's missing, or maybe the Suns will be easy. But the Suns are not an easy win. They're not an easy win. I mean, they have Devin Booker, they have Jalen Green, they have Dylan Brooks. They're not an easy win. They have a ton of size up front. They're not an easy win. The Pelicans are not an easy win. They have Trey Murphy, they have Zion Williamson, they have Jordan Poole. That's a team that can easily destroy you. Easily. It's just the Jazz. That's how many games is that? Dude, that's 14 teams times 2. That's 28 tough games against the Western Conference this year. Lord help me. It's tough. The Kings are not an easy win either, dude. Domantas Sabonis can give us a ton of trouble. Zach LaVine could get on a heater. Dennis Schroeder is probably really good at basketball. Keegan Murray might be healthy, but might also be, he might get healthy by the time the Raptors face him. So, it's going to be a dogfight. It's going to be a dogfight. I think too many people are focusing on the number of bad teams in the Eastern Conference. And I'm not even convinced there are not that many bad teams in the Eastern Conference. Like, are you convinced 100% that you're going to beat the Chicago Bulls 4 times this year? You shouldn't be. You shouldn't be. Are you convinced you're going to beat the Charlotte Hornets and the Washington Wizards? You're going to sweep them? You shouldn't be convinced. The Wizards have CJ McCollum. They have a ton of athletes. They have a ton of length. They can easily beat you in a home game on a back-to-back or something. So I'm just saying, like, there's a world in which the Raptors finish with 36 wins and we're all heartbroken at the end of the season. There's also a world in which this team overperforms and gets like 47, 48, 50 wins, but it's going to be hard. It's not a cakewalk. It's not a cakewalk. Boston is not a cakewalk. We just saw it. It's not a cakewalk. I think the Kings are ass in the West. they're worse than 13 teams in the Western Conference or 12 teams in the Western Conference. They're bad. They could still be a playing team, by the way, because they can beat the shit out of the East. Domantas Sabonis, Zach LaVine, Keegan Murray, like Keon Ellis, like Russell Westbrook. That's not a bad team. It's a bad team in the Western Conference. Boston won't trade White. He's a fan favorite. I wish they would trade him. I wish they would trade him right to Toronto. That would be amazing. Anyways, I will do this. We done the first 10 game predictions. I will happily do this in the Eastern Conference or Raptor season preview. And actually, I do have a video coming up either tomorrow or the next day with Raptors Shaq. So after slandering one side of the Toronto media, I do want to give props to one side of the Toronto media, which is Raptors Shaq, who's been making some awesome content. We're going to have Raptors Shaq on. His name is Stevie. You may know him from social media, Twitter, etc. I find him to be a very balanced person. We're going to do a Raptors preview together. So we're going to do the Raptors season preview either tomorrow or the next day. Barnes and Scottie saying he's cool. Absolutely. Shout outs to Stevie. Shout outs to Airson. Shout outs to everyone who's come on this show, man. And shout outs to all of you for sticking with us until midnight. 300 people. Thank you very much. Cass saying he's got good content. Absolutely. We will use that opportunity to obviously tell people about his channel and let people know where to go find him and all that stuff. So it'll be cool. And, you know, hopefully it'll be a nice vibe and a nice chat. Oh, man. Pepperjack gifted 10 Pensare Basketball memberships. Shout outs to the GOAT. Shout outs to the GOAT, a freaking Hall of Fame member who just ships out 10 memberships every single time he feels generous. Thank you very, very much. Shout outs to the 10 people who got the membership. I want to give you a little bit of a notice on memberships and what memberships mean. We will also do our Sunday show, and I can't wait for our Sunday show this week because it's going to be fun as hell. So in terms of memberships, how do you join? If you were not one of the 10 lucky people who got Pepperjack's memberships, you go to the channel, you hit join. You can also go to the videos and check the last members only video, click on it, and YouTube will give you a prompt to join. Memberships are not expensive, but they go a really long way to sustaining Pensare Basketball as being a free content space for you. In terms of what you get, Chatter, which is, I believe, the $3.49 or $2.99 a month price of a cup of coffee. I'm not very good at sales. I'm not good at selling myself. I'm not good at asking people for money. But Chatter is a very inexpensive way to help this channel. You get a member chat every single month, which is very cool, right? Like it's basically a super chat. I will address it mid-show. You get custom stickers, which we're still working on, main page thanks, and Sunday show access. To those who don't know, our Sunday show happens every single week, Sunday, going forward into the season, where we will break down the analytics of the week. We'll look at the stats. We'll look at the data. We'll look at stuff that we don't talk about in the post-game live. And we will also talk about the rest of the league. We'll talk about things happening around the league. It'll be like an NBA variety show. Think NBA Athletic Daily, something like that. So it'll just be a weekly show to talk about key performances, key trends around the league, who's hot, who's not, stuff like that. Baller, everything you get with the Chatter level, plus you get a guaranteed comment response. So every single comment you're going to leave within a week, hopefully sooner, I will give you a response to it that's hopefully a little bit more than LOL. Sometimes I try to be very detailed with my responses. Sometimes a comment may not require a detailed response, but I do my best with all ballers and VIPs to give you a guaranteed comment response. VIPs get everything ballers do, except they also get to email me once a month. Nobody has actually done this other than one person. So we're going to get to that video next month. But topic requests, 1 month. So one time a month, you get to message me about a topic request, and I will either make a video essay about it or I will address it in a 10 to 15 minute diatribe on one of our post-game lives and give you full credit for coming up with the subject. So that is how you can hopefully help support this community a little bit. And Sparkling just became a new YouTube member. Thank you very much to Sparkling for becoming a new YouTube member. Thank you very much. And shout outs to all of you who got the gift memberships. And it is officially October 18th in 2 minutes. So have a beautiful night. Talk to you guys later. And please hit like on this video to the 300 people in here. Let's see if we can get this video up to 222 likes. That'd be great. Peace.